All right, everybody. Happy Saturday and happy Vengeance Day to all who celebrate. I don't know. Doesn't really feel like an appropriate greeting, but that's the name of the PLE. So that's what we're going to do. It's time to watch some NXT on a Saturday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are on God's green earth. I guess maybe even morning for some of you guys. But here we are, Marked by Wrestling. We're going to be watching NXT Vengeance Day right now. They're in Orlando at the Performance Center, and this is right before Stand and Deliver. This might be, I don't know if this is the last PLE before on Peacock or if they'll have Stand and Deliver on Peacock as well. But anyway, I'm watching Stand and Deliver through Peacock, and we've got Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship. We should get news about the status of the Women's Championship that JC Jane holds. But we got the North American title, the ladies' North American title on the line. Tonight, too, Izzi Dame defends against Tatum Paxley. And also, there's Kelani. We're going underground, NXT Underground. Lola Vice, perhaps with a broken hand, taking on Kelani Jordan. And then also, we could see Tony D'Angelo in action one-on-one versus Dion Lennox of Dark State. Will that be the final shot Tony has against Dark State to get his revenge? We'll see. Tell you what, Ricky Saints going heel was a very, very wise decision. Last name, good to see you. By the way, if you're in the chat and want to say hi, feel free to say hi. If you're new to Marked by Wrestling, please like the video and subscribe. Listen, what we do here, we say believing makes wrestling better. We come from a positive place when we consume our wrestling. We're not free of criticism, but we try to look at wrestling with a positive glance and try to enjoy it. Last name. Will Keys show up? You know what? Would love to see him. And honestly, if you're bringing him into NXT, I said this months ago when he was signed that having him as a sort of diesel, backup henchman guy, a heavy, or Ricky Saints wouldn't be a bad move. And if Ricky gets the title back tonight, could Joe Hendry be in trouble? Because we don't actually know where Royce Keys is landing. He debuted in the Royal Rumble, and he has been on Stephanie's podcast. He has not shown up live, to my knowledge, on Raw or SmackDown. So we don't really know what show he belongs to yet. Just having a little bit of pregame yogurt, by the way. I'm sure everybody's interested and wants to know. RT Rick, AO. One more for the good guys here at NXT. I am ready for Tony to make light work of Dion Lennox because I'm more interested in what the second objective Tony D'Angelo has in his return to NXT after taking a pretty big break. I wonder if we'll get any North American title shenanigans. So we'll see. Okay, Dossie, you're of the same mind, thinking that we are done with Peacock after this for NXT. My guess is it'll go to Netflix, Netflix or ESPN, which, internationally speaking, anything that's on ESPN internationally goes to Netflix. So I'm assuming it'll go to ESPN. That would be where I put my money. Last name says, oh, Dion literally is in the parking lot waiting for Tony D. Oh, we getting the street fight starting off though. Here's the glamour. It's Blade and Jaida. Miss Parker and Miss Monroe are kicking us off. Blake in all black, by the way. The whole take you to hell stuff. Last name, I like that idea. I don't know how big of in a hurry they are to turn Cody heel. Cody's an interesting case study right now. Um, I almost feel like they're leaning on Cody in the public eye to see if the crowd will turn on him. Because if you look at his last couple of WrestleManias, Cena and now Randy, I don't know if a WrestleMania crowd is going to boo Randy. You know what I mean? Um, so they might be trying to put Cody in positions where the crowd will turn on him to facilitate a heel turn instead of just turning him, which I like. It'd be interesting. I only saw a few minutes of the main event last night. I get it. I appreciated Drew as champion, but I wasn't interested in seeing Drew versus Randy Orton. And Booker T is hyped because he said he thinks Jada's got a new beat. Oh, we got the kendo sticks in the ring already. Wow. They just said that Jada has not lost a one-on-one match since September. That just doesn't feel true. Yeah, well, that's hard with a 3-hour show, Lockwood. I'll tell you that. I didn't. But anyway, yeah, I'm not interested in a Drew Randy match. Although now we may end up getting Drew versus Jacob Fatu at Mania, maybe. And I don't hate that because if anything, I didn't want Jacob to get left out in the cold on this. Sup, Tyrell? All right, ladies are going at it here, and they're just rolling around, throwing hands. Big kick. Yeah, Fatu helping Cody. I mean, I look at it more as taking a shot at Drew, but like I kind of wish there was a little more rationale to Jacob getting involved because when he helped Drew win, he took shots at both of them. But this time he targeted Drew. And I guess that was a lick back from the Royal Rumble, wasn't it? Although no, it was a look back from his Elimination Chamber qualifier. So, you know, so there is that. Oh, here comes Blake shows up with a red kendo stick. Oh, it's an umbrella. I was about to say it looked a little puffier than a kendo stick. Starts smacking Jaida. We got a table getting set up, but it's not all the way set up yet. Oh, Blake Monroe, I think, reversing the table setup. That's a great way to get heat, is robbing the crowd of a table spot. Blake just throwing a bunch of chairs in the ring. And she throws the table back under the ring. Honestly, good heel move in this table thirsty crowd we have these days. All right, Stand and Deliver, Saturday, April 4th. coming out of St. Louis. So they're not even, I mean, it's a weekend before, but they're not even going to be in Vegas. Last name, I think whoever wins this match should absolutely be in line for a title shot. I don't know if it should be the women's title or the North American title. What in the heck are we doing? We're getting way too convoluted with weapon spots here. So the kendo sticks were like wedged in between the ring ropes, and then there was Blake set up a chair using the kendo sticks as support, and she ended up eating the chair from Miss Parker, who took a big swing with the kendo stick. But yeah, you got to assume whoever comes out on top of this match gets a shot at the at a title. But at the same time, I wonder if that will telegraph what happens with the titles we have to be determined. Because if Jaida wins, does that mean JC Jane might hold on to the title a little bit longer and Jaida Parker gets a shot at her? Oh, there's a pink baseball bat on the side of the ring. And if Blake wins, does that mean Zarya becomes champion, or does that mean Tatum Paxley becomes North American champion and Blake goes after that belt that, Thea Hale took from her? No last name. So tonight, Robert Stone is supposed to have a segment addressing the women's title. We're all assuming it's probably going to be a triple threat at maybe Stand and Deliver or something like that, but who knows? Man, Blake Monroe swinging for the fences. Pops her. Yeah, there's been some whiplash, at least online, about the decision to put the belt back on Cody. But again, my question to people typically when they're dissatisfied with what they've been given, one of the things I always want to ask, not to dissuade, your disapproval of something, but what would you have done? Would you really have gone to WrestleMania with Randy versus Drew? Would you have done that fatal four way with Cody and Jacob? So, and we've all talked about wanting to see Cody and Randy in a feud at this point. So maybe this, maybe that'll deliver. I'm waiting for the historical video package WWE production comes up with heading to Mania, and I think it'll give some gas to that feud. I did not see Danhausen curse the Miz last night. I did not see anything from SmackDown except the end of the title match. Wow, Blake Monroe absolutely mocked Jada's high stepping and charged her in the corner with a chair on her face. Only gets a 2 count though. Hip attack on the chair. What's she got? She's wrapping something around her hand. Oh, it's pearls. She's using pearls as a weapon.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you. I'm excited. Last name, I've seen clips of the Mustafa Ali interview. I haven't seen it all front to back, but but it's been really good. The stuff I've seen. His story about Brock Lesnar winning Money in the Bank was really interesting. And just some of the other things, pretty cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be seeing Ted DiBiase Jr. anytime soon. He got some legal problems, him and Daddy both. They defrauded welfare. I want to say in Mississippi or somewhere. I can't remember, but yeah. Kayfabe becomes reality. Ladies and gentlemen, homemade Chex Mix might be my favorite snack of all time. Blockbuster from Jaida Parker off the second rope, but Blake Monroe's bouncing. She heading out of the ring. Last name, that's an excellent question. I gotta say both. I think they both need this win. The RT Rick, when Brock won Money in the Bank, Ali said they told him to finish like literally 10 seconds before he walked out. And he talked about how all the other guys in the match were like super hot about it because they thought that Ali knew and didn't tell them. And he had to tell them, he's like, I did not have a chance to tell you guys myself. I just found out. And they were all ticked that they didn't know Brock was coming out because they had told Ali he was winning Money in the Bank. And he even said he had a signed conversation. Blake Monroe's got a brick, but she didn't get to use it. There is a table set up now outside. And he was just saying that Randy Orton even had like a, hey man, I'm really proud of you conversation and stuff. And he said Randy was the hottest about it. About how they did him with Brock. And he said Brock was cool. I don't have any, he didn't have any beef with Brock. Again, it's just an indictment on really like poor communication from creative, I think, from Vince. Whoa. Wow. Jaida Parker just springboarded off the second rope, well, off the bottom rope, off the apron, and basically earthquake splashed Blake Monroe through the table and bounced right off that broken table too. Hypnotic. Oh, she hits the hypnotic. That might be what it is right there. Only two. Uh-oh. Blake kicked out the finisher, and Jaida is stunned. What's up, Modfather? Good to see you. Yeah, Mustafa he was going to have a heck of a 2019. And what was wild is how he got that injury, and then Kofi Mania happened as a result of his injury. Blake fighting her way back now. Hey, Shamanica, welcome. We're still in the first match. Street fight with Jaida and Blake. They're both fighting hard. No, Tyrell, I didn't know about that in 2K. That's pretty cool. Last name, super overdue about Demolition going to the Hall of Fame. Very excited and happy that one of my predictions came through. Are these pearls diamonds? Oh, we're doing the thumbtack spot, but with diamonds. Oh, wow. Blake had a handful and just threw them. Oh, wow. Just threw them in Jaida's face when she was on the top turnbuckle. Hurricane Rana onto the diamonds, and then a DDT onto the diamonds. And that's it. Blake Monroe takes the win. You know, I'm not opposed to using another item instead of thumbtacks, but at some point you do. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it being kind of fake diamonds. No, I thought they were pearls at first because she had used a pearl necklace as a weapon at one point. And I guess this is the question now. If you're Blake Monroe and you've won this street fight, do you go after the title that you lost, or do you aim higher? Dawsey, I did hear about that, man. What a sudden and sad development. I hope Conan's doing okay. Um, Shocking to hear about that. I'm not sure why it was. It just maybe it was a oh, it was a some kind of I mean, obviously some kind of health complication, but I don't know the story behind it. But I did hear that it was happening. Just sad stuff. Honestly, what I would do for both these ladies, I would send Jada after Izzy Dame, and I would send Blake Monroe after the NXT title. Um, because both of them need to elevate. I feel like, um, in hindsight, I won't say it seemed obvious, but they definitely do want to make Blake Monroe a thing. I mean, you just look at her presentation. I would just argue that Jada has gotten more organically over than Blake has. I mean, not saying that Blake's not over. She's not. But yeah, I don't know. That is the tension point, though. That's the tension point in WWE always is when you have somebody who the fans chose versus someone who creative has chosen. And they come to a head. Like that one year, 2015, I think it was, when it was Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns. Like, yeah, I would not I would not call Jada up yet. I don't think it's not that I don't think she's ready. I just, it's honestly the same way I felt about Jordan Grace. I felt there was still stuff for her to do in NXT, but whatever they do, they're going to do what they do. Laney Luck profile on Evolve. Laney Luck's top says turnt on it. We're getting another profile. Is this Eli Knight? No. You think she's the NXT version of Jey Uso? Trill London. Is this another Evolve guy? This is his theme music in the background. It's not bad. Former Syracuse football player. Okay. Oh, he was a DB for the Miami Dolphins. You know what? I like Vengeance Day using their commercial breaks to do profiles on Evolve wrestlers. I'm not going to watch Evolve, but this is a good way to already start to introduce you to names that are down there. Harlem Lewis. That is the WWEest name I've ever heard. He looks a little like Rodney Mack, if I'm being honest. 5 minute white boy challenge. Last name, you say that about Jaida being a female, Jey Uso. At least they put gold on Jey, man. Was a tag belt, IC belt, world title, even briefly. Yeah. Inamura, really? Okay, Lockwood. That's cool. Love me some Inamura. I miss him. Surely we got to be getting closer to announcing a few more names for the Hall of Fame, too, I would think. We're up to Axe and Smash, Demolition, AJ Styles, and Stephanie McMahon. A pretty good class, honestly, from top to bottom. Ricky and Ethan. Yeah, there's a real D1 pipeline to pro wrestling right now, especially through the Performance Center.
You still good?
For right now, yeah. Yeah, I like seeing Ethan and Ricky together. All right, Tony D'Angelo's here, and Dion's going to carjack him. Nope. All of Dark State tried to carjack Tony D'Angelo, but it wasn't Tony behind the wheel. So Tony with his tire iron just cracked everybody in Dark State, and now it's him and Dion fighting in the parking lot. We're getting it. It's kind of cinematic. Oh. Tony just threw a keg at Dion and missed, and it shattered a windshield. You better have good insurance. You better have good insurance if you're going to park in the NXT parking lot. All right. Well, D'Angelo just shut the rest of Dark State out of the building. I mean, the match graphics had this build as a match, but on TV, they were both saying, "I'll meet you in the parking lot," like it's just a fight. So I don't know. Obviously, there has been no bell because they're not at the ring. But I guess we're just going to stick with this fight until we're not. Well, there's Dark State jumping in to help. Yep, Shanakaga. Yep, Shamanika. Oh, what's up, Modfather? Well, Blake Monroe won the street fight against Jaida Parker. She had a bag full of diamonds similar to thumbtacks and DDT'd Jaida Parker right in the middle of them. And now we have a backstage fight that started in the parking lot and is working its way in the building between Tony D'Angelo and basically all of Dark State, but he's mainly fighting Dion Lennox here. Beverly Brothers. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. At some point, I think they should get in. Well, this is violent. I think this has been more violent than the street fight so far. What? There's a footage outside. Oh, they're fighting outside the building now. Oh, last name. You know it, man. Well, here's Dark State again, man. It's a gang. It's a gang jump. Oh, OTM is here. OTM just showed up and said, "What's up, Dark State?" OTM just blocked a tire iron shot from Dion Lennox, and now the whole locker room is poured out, and Dion and Tony are alone again, and Tony is just beating Dion towards the ring. There's a ref following around, just saying, "You got to get in the ring. You got to get in the ring." Oh, they just came pouring through the NXT breakaway tunnel. And now they're inches away from actually getting in the ring and starting this match. All right, ring the bell. Let's get this match started officially. Now it's a match. Both men on their feet, swapping punches. Charging kick on the apron. Misses by Dion Lennox. Dion currently in control. Although Tony's pretty much been in control for most of this match. Tony D'Angelo about to hit that Bane. Oh, big spine buster by Dion. Only two, though. D'Angelo about to say, it'll be very painful for you. I agree, last name. This should have been the start of the show. Big German suplex from Tony. Uh-oh. A second one. We about to get a triple German. Been a while since I've seen the triple Germans. Oh, he's going up for 4. This move really should have been brought back. It's been long enough. 4 German suplexes from Tony D'Angelo. When Tony's hair is out of the ponytail, he kind of looks like Elias to me. Oh, torture rack neck breaker. All right, busting out the CAW moves here. Well, I go all the way back to Benoit with the multiple Germans. Like Brock usually does releases on his German suplexes, but it was Benoit and Kurt Angle to a lesser extent who would hold on and pick you back up and give you another German suplex. That was one of my favorite signature moves. Tony full speed ahead, charges into Dion, but he misses and hits the steps. Oh, he did. Last name, I think it's supposed to be a normal match because they wouldn't ring the bell until they got to the ring. Oh no. Dion tried to crush Tony's ankle with the ring steps, but Tony got out of the way. Yeah, this has got to be a regular match, I think, because that would have been a DQ if he had actually connected. Oh. Dion just threw Tony literally into the first row. Shamanica. Regarding Dark State's performance in the past year, number one, I'll say this. They deserved to be in the 2K game, and they weren't. And I think that's a travesty. Oh my gosh, superplex from the barricade onto the announce table. And the table, we hardly knew you. Candy everywhere. But I'll say this. I think it was a mistake bringing Dark State into NXT as a main event heel group. I think if they had stayed as a mid-card heel group and then got better, it would have been better for them. I think they were pushed too hard too soon, and they weren't ready for that. Because the Dark State that they are now, this should be a time kind of like Blake Monroe in the last match, where like after this match, maybe they could move up to the main event scene, but they started at the top, so there's nowhere for them to go. Dossie is 100% right here. They are fighting instead of construction building, and that is what makes a good street fight. It's not making up spots, and setting up all this furniture. It's being violent with the setup furniture that's already around you. Because it really attacks your suspension of disbelief by setting up all these things. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I don't have a full thesis statement on it yet, but I think in the long term, I think the money TLC and Money in the Bank ladder matches have done more harm for wrestling than good. Not ladder matches in general, but specifically TLC and Money in the Bank. And I'll leave it at that for now. Shamanica, I think they should have debuted that way. Like been in the North American title division and the tag division and not started in the main event. I'm not saying they couldn't have gotten to the main event, because especially after Trick and Oba and Javon left, now they should be there. Boom, big spear from Tony. Big spear. Great sell from Dion. Yeah, so that's how I feel. Big Farouk style spine buster, and that is that. Tony says arrivederci to Dark State. All right. Question of the night from your mod father. From this list, you can only pick one. Hell in a Cell opponent will be either New Jack, a CTE induced Goldberg, a prime Mankind that doesn't care, or an unmasked Kane. I'm not picking New Jack, put it that way. Oh, no. New Jack absolutely last on that list. If any of y'all know game about all those wrestlers, none of y'all want New Jack. I'm torn between Mankind and Kane, and I'll tell you why. Mankind, while crazy, also developed his reputation for taking punishment instead of giving it. So I might actually do more damage to Mankind than I would take damage. So maybe Mankind, but also if we're going to get behind the curtain and not keep it fully kayfabe, I also hear that Wrestling Kane is one of the most painless opponents you have. That he has a reputation for really taking care of his opponents in the ring. So I'm not quite sure, but either Mankind or Kane for those reasons. But no, after the mass transit incident, I wouldn't, and many other incidents, I would stay far away from New Jack in the ring. The Dark Side of the Ring episode of New Jack, very, very educational. 2K commercial. Oh man, the scaffolding match. Even that match in that random hotel conference room where he stabbed that dude 9 times. Like, pretty star-studded ad here. I know, man. The old Joe guy, yeah. Anybody who had the guts in 1994 to cut a promo saying, shout out to my homeboy OJ, keep up the good work, is not a guy I want to get in the ring with. Like, you hear MJF saying, edgy stuff every week, but it was a whole different world. All right, Tatum Paxley promo. I'm guessing we're getting the North American title match here next. Absolutely, Lockwood. Yeah. You don't want to be there. Oh, that's a good thought, Shamanica. Okay. Yeah. If you see New Jack, run away. Although the thing that I loved about New Jack, him being added in the 2K game last year, was when you wrestled with him and he went to a hardcore match or whatever, it played your theme song while the match was going on. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool feature for his inclusion in the game. All right, so we're just getting kind of a historical video package of the past couple of weeks of promos between Izzi and Tatum. So I'm not really commenting on that. I feel bad criticizing Izzy Dame in any way because she is someone who I have seen really put in the effort with her in-ring work, with her promos and all this stuff, but I just don't connect with her, as a performer. Like, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. It's like she's doing everything a lot of other wrestlers do, but I don't feel it with her. Um Tatum, at least, I buy into her. So anyway, 3 hours, 200 times in 3 hours he did while watching SmackDown. Time well spent. Time well spent indeed. All right, yep, North American title up next. Izzy Dame defends against Tatum Paxley. Old and new is the most stiff wrestler. All right, Lockwood, let me think about that. Actually, when it comes to old wrestlers, a ton of them were stiff. But if I can direct you guys to my first Mount Rushmore episode with my brother David, we talked about the Steiner brothers. Rick Steiner, super stiff, super duper stiff. So I would say Rick Steiner. I mean Scott too, probably, but definitely Rick. And then let's see, new stiff ones. Ilya is absolutely a good answer to that. Yeah, I think Ilya is the right answer. I just don't think there's anybody on his consistently on his level, because even Gunther is protective. I think more protective of people than Ilya. Just goes right out of there. But definitely, I think Ilya takes the mantle because he bleeds like every match hard way. He's always busting his nose or his head or whatever. Like, and it ain't bleeding. Like, so he just wrestles hard, man. I wouldn't put Reed and Braun on that list. Honestly, I think Reed is kind of perfect because he looks like he's hurting people. That tsunami is a great finisher for it being so simplistic. And Braun absolutely can be stiff for sure. But I don't think he is as consistently stiff throughout the entire match. I think Gunther and Braun Breaker are similar. They have a few signature moves and spots that always just hit. But Ilya is like every single thing he does looks like he's chopping you down, and it's just brutal. Fatu, I would put in a similar vein as Bronson Reed. I think his stuff looks like it hurts more than it actually does, which is the highest compliment I can give. That is exactly what wrestling is supposed to be. Wrestling, at the end of the day, is supposed to look like it hurts far more than it actually does. Not saying that it won't hurt, it will, but it's supposed to look 10 times worse than it actually feels. Shamanica, how do I feel about Brian versus Gunther, Bucks versus Usos, Tony versus Rhea? Brian and Gunther would be a terrible. I'm not terrible. I mean, it would be great. I would want to pray for Brian because he takes a lot of risks with his health when he wrestles. But guilty pleasure. I'd have to watch that match. Usos and Young Bucks. I don't know that I would be that interested in that match. I'm going to be honest. I like the Usos, but sometimes their shtick runs a little thin on me, and I've never liked the Young Bucks. I don't have anything ugly to say about them. I've just never ever connected with them. It's not that I don't get it, like I get it, and I just don't like it. You know what I mean? And then Tony versus Rhea, I feel like the promos could be a lot of fun. And Tony versus Rhea have history going back to like NXT UK and stuff. So I would be very interested to see as the years have passed how the two of them would go in the ring. I think it'd be really interesting. So I'd be really intrigued by Tony and Rhea. Would absolutely watch the heck out of Bryan and Gunther. And Bucks versus Usos, I'd go get a snack. All right, here's Tatum. Yeah, Tony would have to bring that gimmick with her. She couldn't go back to that Tony time thing. That's so generic by comparison. RT, remind me, isn't Ruby expecting, or did she recently have a child? Isn't that why she's out, or was it some other reason? All right, here comes Izzy and the culling. All right, here we go. Who do I think was the most underrated black and gold wrestler? You think it was Kyle O'Reilly? I think that's a good choice. Listen, there's obviously, I'm just giving you an objective answer. It's not necessarily because of outside the ring stuff. Okay. Velveteen Dream. Um, Absolutely awful. All the stuff that went down with him that he did, or didn't do. I don't know, but just awful stuff. Prior to that, I was like, this is your next big megastar. But yeah, Velveteen Dream was amazing. Let's see, Darby Allin versus Javon Evans, Brody King versus Gunther, Trick, Oba, and Swerve. Ooh. Yeah. Honestly, I'd like to see Swerve and Javon instead. And I'd like to see Darby Allin versus Trick because they're so stinking different. And Trick could throw Darby around. Not Oba, because Oba would have to kill him. But Trick could throw him around. And Trick is so cocky as a character, he could get too cocky and accidentally lose. And give me Brody versus Oba. Just big meaty men. All right. Bell has rung and Tatum is on the offensive. Oba would just have to destroy Darby. Just unadulterated destruction. I could not abide by an Undertaker Jeff Hardy situation with Darby and Oba. All right, Tatum firmly in control. Izzy bails to the outside. And F30. Yeah, seriously. Just launch him. Izzy trying to escape her way around the ring, but Tatum chasing her and a diving cannonball off the steps onto Izzy on the outside of the ring. I think Darby and Gunther could work a good match against each other. You know, I'm a big fan of styles that kind of mismatch a little bit in the ring. And the size and strength difference between Darby and Gunther could make for a really entertaining exchange. So, yeah, I would be for that. Ruby went on maternity leave in July 2024. Oh, wow. It's been that long. Okay. Yeah, so I guess she could be back whenever she's ready to come back. Yeah, talk about bouncy, man. Osprey and Javon would be a you might as well have that match inside one of those trampoline gyms. That would be crazy. Big kick from Izzy Dame. Izzy has a good boot, a good, running boot kick. She's a good kicker. Three Stages of Hell with Taker and Kane. I would do, yeah, the legs absolutely help Lockwood. You're right about that. Taker and Kane in their prime. The last match I would do is Buried Alive. That would be the third match. First match, I think first match just has to be a standard wrestling match because you have to escalate in Three Stages of Hell. Second match, I would have be cage. So regular cage, Buried Alive. Because Buried Alive also satisfies all the I don't know, it satisfies all the qualifications of a of a street fight. Three Stages, Ilya and Gunther. Regular match. Regular match, Iron Man match, I Quit match. I don't know how entertaining those three matches would be back to back. I wouldn't book them all in one segment like Drew and Cody did. I would have them at three different points in the show. I would have the regular match at the beginning, have the Iron Man match in the middle of the show, and have the I Quit match be at the end. But yeah, that's what I would do. I thought about doing a submission match. You could do a submission match, but that conflicts with the I Quit match. Meanwhile, Izzi and Tatum just going at it here. I gotta say, their match is fine. It's not bad at all, but it doesn't. I don't know. It's hard. These ladies had two tough acts to follow with the street fight and the parking lot fight. Ooh, Lance Storm style roll through into a Boston Crab from Tatum Paxley. Love to see it. But she gets the ropes. Izzy's tall, man. She can reach those ropes. Okay. Tatum firing up. Let's see what we get. Yeah, I agree, Dossie. The thing about doing 3 stages of hell is, and this is not always, you know, it's not always been this way. I think Cena and Orton or Triple H and Orton did 3 stages of hell once. And their matches weren't back to back. Like they were booked, they were paced throughout the night. So, yeah. Was Jim Ross fired? I didn't hear anything about that. I haven't heard any news on Jim Ross lately. Of course, I have been out of the wrestling news loop for a couple of days, so beats me. I'm not actually sure. Thank you. All right, superplex incoming from Izzy, but we ain't all the way there. Tatum fighting back, throwing hands. Izzy holding on, but she can't, and she drops. Tatum up top, 450, but rolls through after the miss. Shotgun drop kick from Izzy. Quick cover, but only 2. It's almost like a claymore. Crowd loudly behind Tatum. All right. Boo and yay punches coming along. That's a trope. I would be happy to see go away for a while. Oh, you are Lockwood. Okay, I've heard good things about that movie. I mean, that I love the song that one. The Even If, I think is what it's called. I love the song that film is based on, telling the story of. So yeah, you have to let me know how it goes. Is he going again? Tatum going again for a 450 after hitting her with that sky high? Only two. Also, Dulcie, to go back to your comment about logistics and 3 stages of hell matches, I don't know that it's always the wisest thing to jump right into the next match. Like Cemetery Drive, nope, nope, nope. And drops Tatum over the top onto the apron. Tatum now climbing the ropes after dizzying Izzi. Izzi with a big boot. Oh, what a like a back suplex cutter. It only gets two. Izzi is not handling these 2 counts very well. She is slowly starting to crash out more and more. Yes, Sophie, it is the last show on Peacock. Oh, Shamanika, okay. Tatum. Holy crap. Tatum Paxley just dove over the top and a sunset flip power bombed Izzi off the apron onto the floor. Even Nico and Spears are kind of like, ooh. Yes, last name Sean and Hunter did 3 stages of hell once. Yeah. I think this is the last Peacock show ever for NXT. They'll still do oh my gosh. Tatum almost got counted out. It was going to be so dumb. Oh, and then a sky high from Izzi. Come on, there we go. 2 count only. We don't know yet what's gonna like. I know Saturday night's main event is still going to be on Peacock for a little bit longer, but yeah, I think this is the last one for NXT. I'm assuming they'll go to ESPN, but that hasn't been announced. Hurricane Rana. Oh, only 2. Spears tried to get involved, and Tatum threw a shot at him, but he didn't move. Izzi hit him. Only 2. Code breaker. Oh, backflip. No sell. Oh, Tatum's awake. Rolling kick to the head. Cemetery Drive. Could that be it? New champ. Tatum gets her revenge and is once again, well, not once again, but she is the new North American champion. Love to see it. Honestly, I won't care if NXT goes to ESPN, because if that means they go to ESPN, they're probably also going to be on Netflix with a VPN. So I'm not bothered. I already have the ESPN service anyways, so I can manage. Her blocking the code breaker into a backflip and firing up and hitting that cemetery drive was pretty dope finish. Crowd giving their flowers to Tatum Paxley. Solid match. And we're getting ready for the underground match next. Kelani Jordan and Lola Vice. OTM backstage being interviewed. All right. I like that OTM. Yesterday's price is not today's price. I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for OTM. They're pretty much putting it down. They're going to come after those tag titles after they're finished wiping the floor with Dark State. NXT going to be in Houston in a couple of weeks. Now comes Rob Stone. I wonder if we're going to get a title update for the ladies. Oh, here comes JC. All right. Fatal Influence in the house, all three of them. What's up, George? Welcome to the chat. We'll catch you up here soon, George. But right now, Fatal Influence in the ring with Robert Stone. Hey, George. Tatum just won. She won the North American title. Blake Monroe won the street fight against Jaida Parker, and Tony D destroyed Dion Lennox. And OTM actually showed up to beat down Dark State, the rest of Dark State. JC Jane is cutting what feels like a babyface promo. I'm waiting for her to show back up with her attitude. JC said she deserves to be the main event of Stand and Deliver this year. I don't disagree. All right, Robert Stone's interrupting. Oh, as soon as he said, we're going to find your next challenger, Zarya comes on out. Oh my gosh. Zarya's outfit says Souls X on it.
31-minute timer started. minutes. 47-minute timer started. That is timer for 1 hour and 1 minute. 1 hour and 1 minute timer started.
Now Fallon's jawing. This promo segment's kind of dying. Production guy was late on his cue. They were all standing there looking at each other because they were late on Sol Ruka's music. Sol's zingers aren't hit. The thing is that this is a pretty scripted promo segment, and most of the like zingers in here are not clicking with the crowd. This segment is dragging on when it feels like it's going to be very predictable that it's going to be a triple threat. Oh, March 17th at Houston. So we are getting the triple threat match, but it's going to be in 10 days. So Stand and Deliver will be something else entirely. I mean, my enduring fantasy booking is that Stand and Deliver would be Sol versus Zarya for the title. So I think Sol should win this triple threat match in 2 weeks, and she should defend against Zarya at Stand and Deliver. And we get Sol versus Zarya at Stand and Deliver main eventing for the NXT title, which might be what we're getting. Pre-produced interview with Kelani backstage. Hmm. Yeah, we probably are going to see JC on the main roster after Mania. Is my guess, which I'm fine with. She's ready. All right, hyping up the underground match. So we have the underground match and the title match. The NXT title match left, and then yeah, that'll be the show. So we'll see what we got. Yeah, I mean Fallon is the speed champion for the ladies, and Laney's just kind of there. So I mean, I think you could split them up, and let them kind of find their own character and find their own path. Is my thought, but we'll see. What's going to be really intriguing is if Fallon loses the speed title by Stand and Deliver, because could she possibly come up with JC? I don't know, but it'd be interesting if JC didn't come up alone. Cody winning the title again. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm not mad about it because I don't believe anybody really wanted to see Randy versus Drew in a WrestleMania main event in 2026. No shade against either one of them, but that's not a feud anybody's interested in. So it's fine. You have Cody take on Randy, have Drew take on Jacob Fatu. You get through Mania and you keep telling the stories. They're going back to MSG again, March 31st. Okay. There's Dempsey and Tavion. And here's Birthright. Dempsey declines the Birthright invitation. Yeah, Lockwood. I don't know why Jensen's not a part of this group because he's Bull Buchanan's kid. I did hear Pillman was one of the superstars in the pack. It's pretty dope. Okay, so Dempsey and Tavion will take on Connors and Lexus King on Tuesday. All right, we're heading up to NXT Underground now. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a matter of time before Charlie joins the group. Charlie would be a good leader of that group, honestly. I mean, Pillman is a good voice for it, but Charlie would be the good in-ring representative. Or shots at Kelani Jordan's gymnastics career at Michigan State. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool about 2K. Honestly, I don't feel like Kalani's much of a heel in this feud, even though like she is. Once she tried to break Lola's hand for sure. But like but the whole I won the TNA title and I'm gonna represent TNA while I'm their champion, Just crazy. Honestly, this would be a good year to induct Brian Pillman into the Hall of Fame, I think. I don't know if they have any kind of red tape trying to get him in, but he made it into the game. They clearly have some sort of a they had some kind of a they have some kind of an inroad if he made it to the game. Oh, it would put Kelani Jordan over huge if she was able to win in underground. All right. Time for the underground match. Who do y'all have? Kelani or Lola? I think I think Lola finds a way. Yeah, right. Let's see if that training with Sensei Shayna pays off. And here comes Vice City. I like that we have two GTA themed wrestlers in NXT, and they're both ladies. Lola Vice, of course, with the Vice City moniker, but Jaida Parker, all of her merch looks like the cover of a GTA game. All right. It's underground time, y'all. Yeah, I'm very interested to see the chemistry in this match. Since Kelani doesn't have any ropes to work with, she's going to have to adapt to Lola's style. So I'm interested to see how this match kind of gets booked out. Big ovation for Lola's introduction, and she's 3-0 in underground matches. Will the streak continue? This is the new streak.
Did you actually want water or do you want?
Coke Zero is fine too. Yeah. Thank you.
You're afraid of judgment.
I am. Thank you. No, I don't think just a few days worth of training is going to get the job done against Lola. The lighting in here is terrible, though. You can barely see in the ring. Yeah, they need to bring up the house lights a little bit more here. I know they're trying to go for mood lighting. It's better now, but it was not good at first. Lola's got her in a rear naked choke. But Kelani rolling out. You can't do that reverse pinfall though. Oh, Kelani trapping the injured hand and going to work on it though. Ooh, spin kick to Kelani. Kelani grabs that hand and swings it against the post. Northern Lights suplex from Kelani. Oh, George, you think she thinks she's doing shootsies in this match? Okay, Kalani's taking off the glove and protection Lola's got on the injured hand. Ooh, drops the knee on the broken hand. Moonsault on the back. Yeah. Kelani is using wrestling moves, and it's a little weird for this match. I don't want to see a Northern Lights suplex and a moonsault. I like that thought, George. I would like Kelani to gather an amount of success in this match, taking the wrestling style to the underground match, only for that mentality to backfire on her, because this isn't a wrestling match, it's an underground match. Lola just pulls Kelani face first into the post. All right, Lola's striking. German suplex. Yep. Lola's striking now. Oh, geez. Big pump kick sends Kelani to the outside, knocks down a few of the lumberjacks, if you will, who are outside the ring. Lonnie just knocks some dude down, getting down to the floor. That was weird. Now Kalani is jawing at Lola's dad at ringside. The crowd's loud for this. Oh, backflip. Oh, and she just ate the spinning back fist and punched out. Ref jumps in. That's that. What a great visual of their conflicting styles. Kalani goes for a kick. Lola catches it, flips her. She does a beautiful little gymnastics flip. And as soon as she's on her feet, Lola's already in mid spin for the spinning back fist. And down she goes. And they call the match. Lola stays undefeated in underground matches. Well, that is that. We got one match left on the card for the world title. Hendry defends against Ricky Saints, and Lola celebrates with her dad in the crowd. Love to see it. Yeah, she swung a couple of those hammer fists once she went down. It was crazy. We get the NXT Chronicle video for Hendry. So Joe versus Ricky in the main event, guys. What do you guys think we're getting? Hendry, baby. I read that some NXT stars are not in the game. The only ones that kind of shock me for not being in the game is Dark State, and I wasn't going to use them anyways. And Kendall Gray. It would have been nice to have Kendall Gray in the game, but I don't think it's the biggest loss. Man, Joe's first appearance in NXT was wild. Seriously, Hendry started. He might be one of the last great stars who started from nothing and started at the bottom, and now he's here. You know what I mean? Worked his way up through Indies to WWE. Pretty wild. Fatal Influence backstage. Wow, JC Jane glancing over at Fallon Henley saying some of us get 4 or 5 weeks off, like the speed title. No, I'm not staying for AAA. I don't have the stamina in me tonight. I'm going to go hang out with my wife and my son after this is over. Okay, so Sol Ruka versus Laney Reed on Tuesday. That should be a fun match. So the same night that JC has the triple threat match is the same night Fallon Henley is defending the speed title against either Ren Sinclair or Thea Hale. Yeah, I mean the AAA shows are good. Listen, if you guys, it's not because they're boring; it's because they're on late. But if you guys can stay up for them, though, they're a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah, imagine both of them losing and then like debuting at WrestleMania in some like women's tag title match or something. That would be crazy. All right. Only one match left. So let's see what comes of it. All right. If I'm being honest, I like Joe Hendry and Ricky Saints just fine, but there hasn't been a ton of heat kind of, for this feud for me. So I'm just kind of ready to get the match. Um, most of the intrigue these days in WWE and NXT for me is the women's division. Plus whatever Tony D'Angelo is doing. I'm interested in that as well. It would be interesting, Sophie, if this Birthright faction, maybe not all of them, but some of them get in at a later date. But yeah, again, they haven't really even done anything yet, so I could see why they don't get added this year. Yeah, Hardys are coming back too, which is pretty cool. All right. Entrance time. Here comes Ricky. Well, Ariana Grace, I mean, I don't know why they gave her the Knockouts Championship, but they're definitely, it seems as though they're putting over this Birthright faction. I don't know to what degree they're still operating in TNA, but that sort of NXT invasion was very Birthright heavy in TNA when that feud started. So I don't know. All right, here comes the champion. I believe in Joe Hendry. All right, everybody turn up your volume and hear Booker T karaoke. It's coming. All right, Vic Joseph, shut up. It's time for Booker to serenade us all. Listen, I'm a simple man. Booker T singing theme songs pops me every time. I don't care if it's old. I don't care if it's done into the ground. I love it every time. Love it with how he did Tricks entrance, and I love it with Joe. Actually, I like Joe Hendry's even better. Because he's so clearly in on it and just leans into it. I love it. £50 of pure motivation. All right. All right, let's ring this bell and get this match started. Uh-oh. Joe Hendry's leg is tied up in the ropes tonight. I agree, George. It has been a solid show. I have to admit, I feel like tonight's PLE has felt on the level of like a really good episode of weekly TV. It doesn't feel like a PLE to me. So that's a slight criticism. It's not a bad show. It just doesn't feel like it's at that level of PLE. Like I really don't know any match I would tell somebody to go back and watch tonight, which is rare. But it hasn't been a bad show. It feels like it hasn't been a can't miss show. Big chop from Joe. What's interesting is we've already seen an announced table spot, a few stair spots. We've, broken through the tunnel. Had table. I said 2 table spots. We had an announced table spot and a regular table spot. We've seen all the like high spots with weapons and stuff that we could normally see tonight. So I just wonder if this match is planning to do anything special. Yeah, like I said, and I'll say again, it's not like a bad show. No, the matches have been bad, but I don't know. We have been conditioned over the many years of NXT takeovers and PLEs that this is would be when everyone goes all out, and maybe it's because weekly TV has gotten better, or PLEs have gotten a little less. But it feels like just a really good episode of weekly TV to me, and I don't know where that falls under. It has the regular NXT product just gotten better, or or not. Now you're thinking about the black and gold era, Sophie. I mean, the reputation of NXT having better specialty shows than the main roster goes back to black and gold, back when they were called takeovers. And honestly, those shows were kind of reflective of what modern AEW pay-per-views are, just a lot of really long spot matches. And so, yeah. But NXT has been away from that model for a while. I heard Johnny got killed by Oba. Yeah, they're just they're giving Johnny material to work with, but they're certainly not really doing anything with him anymore since Ciampa left, aren't they? He may be getting ready to go join him. Who knows? Joe Hendry thrown into the steps. It's funny that you say that, Sophie. I agree with you. It seems like after Ciampa left, they don't know what to do with Johnny or Candice, but I would argue they didn't really know what to do with Ciampa either. It's crazy because they were super well in NXT. And I understand that you can't put Ciampa at the main event level the same way because he's not big enough. Like he can't stand next to Randy Orton and look threatening. But you could make Ciampa the old black and gold Ciampa of the U.S. title division or the Intercontinental title division. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, so this has been brought up by a few people. I just do need to just address. Um, I didn't have a conversation with A and B about them taking their broadcast hiatus, so I don't know just yet how many of the main roster shows I'll be able to do because I have other things going on broadcast nights. I don't always get to watch them live. You guys probably have seen when I'm in the chat during Raw that sometimes I leave during the show and come back later because I have other things to attend to. So I haven't quite figured out if I'm going to be able to do Raw and SmackDown for those weeks while they're gone or not. I always have time carved out for NXT because that's something I've been able to plan for. But I might be able to do the occasional Raw and SmackDown over the next couple of weeks. We'll just have to wait and see. I have not quite figured that out yet. I've had a lot of things come up as of recently that I need to figure out to see how consistently I'm going to be able to continue to stream right now. So we'll see what happens. I did see those skits of Ciampa trying to RKO Randy Orton. See, like the silly stuff DIY did just on social media, like not on WWE TV, was always really entertaining to me. And it being kind of separated from the TV product, like I always had a lot of fun with that. That was pretty entertaining. I enjoyed that. I'm not sure what that was, but Ricky Saints just springboarded himself into the ring and then did a roll up. It was very strange. Well, stay tuned to the channel. If I'm coming on, I'll make sure to post a thumbnail that I'll be coming on for a show. So yeah, I know. Yeah, I got a text from them this morning that they had said that. I was like, oh, okay, but, we'll figure it out. Fall away slam by Ricky. Oh, and Ricky eats a spear from Joe Hendry. Now Joe going for the fall away slam. Joe catches a Hurricane Rana. Reverse into a power bomb. All right, throwing bombs here back and forth between Joe and Ricky as we're moving along here in our main event here of Vengeance Day. Backslide falls apart. Here comes a air raid crash from Ricky. Only 2. Crossface. Okay, Ricky. Ricky with the crossface. But rolling through, but Ricky holds on to it. Oh, now a guillotine choke from Ricky Saints. And Joe Hendry down to the mat. Okay. The arm's still up. Joe Hendry fighting back. He's trying to stand to his feet. Still in the guillotine. Now he's going to try to deadlift suplex him. Oh my gosh. Joe got him. And going for a Rochambeau reverse now. Nope. Super kick now from Ricky. Oh, an AA from Joe Hendry. Just 2 on the AA. I think Ethan could do well on the main roster for sure. Depends on where you put him. Boot to the face from Ricky. Ricky about to try to hit that tornado DDT. Nope. Joe interrupts it. Going up top, are we going to get a super fall away slam? Priest and Truth as a tag team is something I'm in favor of. For sure. Definitely in favor. Gives both of them something to do. And they're very entertaining on screen together. Because Truth is committed to trying to crack up Damian Priest every time they're on screen together. So why not? Put them together. I'm for it. Chokes. Oh, nope. Counter and a roll up only gets 2. Jumping knee from Ricky. Now Ricky hammerlock DDT. Only 2. Joe kicks out. Oh, yay. Jelly roll. More jelly roll. Oh, now Ethan Page has come out. Earlier in the night, Ricky did ask Ethan for his help. And now Ethan holding the NXT title and walking towards the ring. Ricky is reaching out for him. But, Ricky distracted with a Joe roll-up. And now spear from Ricky to Joe. Now Ricky asking for the belt. Ethan throws the belt in the ring, but it goes to Joe. Ethan saying he didn't do it on purpose. And now Ricky going for the belt. The ref is in full view of this. Now the ref trying to pull the belt too. The ref has the belt. Oh, low blow. Low blow from Ricky Saints. Tornado DDT. Oh, nope. Joe still kicks out. And Ricky's crashing out. You know, it would be interesting if Tony D'Angelo came out to take down Ethan Page and maybe challenge for the title. Oh, almost ref bump. Another second ref bump. Now Joe with a low blow that the ref didn't see. What's good for you is good for me, Joe said. Standing ovation to Joe retains. Trading of low blows factors into the finish, and Joe Hendry retains the NXT championship. Ethan can't believe it. Ricky's in pain. Ricky down. Booker's back on the mic again. Booker saying it was underhanded. Silliness. Okay. Well, that's your main event. I suppose we're wrapping up. I don't know if we'll have anything else to go through, but congrats to the winners tonight. Joe Hendry, new North American champion, Tatum Paxley. Blake Monroe winning the street fight. Kelani, Lola Vice staying undefeated in underground matches. And of course, Tony D'Angelo making good work of Dark State. Ethan's starting to believe. Oh my gosh, that would be interesting. Yeah, the women shine tonight for sure. And in a couple of weeks, they're going to shine again. We're going to get that triple threat match with JC and Soul and Zarya as well. So we'll see. We'll see what NXT has in store for us in the weeks to come. Joe Hendry. All right. I'm just going to stick around and wait for the end credits here because will we see anything else here? Everybody's waving their hands from side to side and saying they believe in Joe Hendry. Got to put this up on the screen. Let's get marked by wrestling more exposure than a McDonald's CEO eating a burger. Like, subscribe, comment in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being a part of the stream tonight, for being a part of Vengeance Day. I'll see you guys again very soon on the channel. We're going to have more fun things coming this week. And we'll find out probably this week who Joe's stand and deliver opponent will be as we're heading towards that as well. And plenty of fun things on the horizon. So I appreciate you guys. I'm going to go spend some quality time with my people. So love you guys. Thank you for spending some time with me today. And I'll see you again very soon this week. And until then, a couple things. One, Mount Rushmore matches will be coming this week. Me and Big Brother are actually going to do one of two episodes on Ricky the Dragon Steamboat this week. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat matches in the NWA/WCW, and then next week matches from the WWF/WWE. So really excited about going through all of those. So until then, until next week's NXT, appreciate you guys hanging with me, and we will talk again very soon. Don't forget to be a mark. Being a mark means you believe, and believing makes wrestling better. You guys have a great night, great weekend, and I will see you again very, very